Welcome to how I lost 40 pounds of excess and unwanted weight. Hello, and welcome to this session. I'm going to share a little bit about my own healthy weight journey and why dieting just didn't work for me and what I did instead to lose the 40 pounds or so that had seemingly crept up on me when I wasn't looking. Now, if you've spent years on and off diets wondering why they don't work the way you'd hope they'd work, and you probably feel it's your fault in some way for not sticking to them and not doing them properly or not doing them for long enough. And maybe your willpower isn't strong enough. You just need to try harder. And if you get cravings and end up self-sabotaging, you probably feel afterwards a bit guilty and like you've failed. And you'll likely lose motivation each and every time you think about starting yet another diet. And you probably sort of lose all hope that it will ever work for you. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault. And I'm going to explain why it's not your fault and give you some tips on planning a better pathway for yourself that doesn't involve dieting, counting points, or punishing gym sessions. So, who exactly am I to be explaining all this? I'm Kim Chapman, and I'm a certified health coach and certified nutritional therapist. And for 3 years, I was an educator on the National Health Service, that's here in the UK, Healthier You programme, helping men and women to improve their health markers to reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And that's often involved in incorporating lifestyle changes, and for many, it also meant losing weight. Now, before all of that, I had my own battle with spiraling weight gain. And when dieting just didn't work for me, I wanted to understand what was going on and learn exactly what I could do about it. Now, I struggled so badly and I was feeling so awful. I wasn't sleeping well, and it felt as though just thinking about food seemed to make me go up a dress size, and it was just awful. And my first instinct was to see my doctor, who basically told me that it's just my age and it's to be expected. I can tell you that really wasn't a good experience at all. In actual fact, it felt humiliating, really. Now, I've worked in adult education for well over 10 years. Studying and researching was second nature to me. So my next instinct was to do my own research and figure it out for myself. I was determined to find out what I could do to help myself. So I invested in training to learn more. I studied and eventually became qualified as a certified health coach and a certified nutritional therapist. And what I learned was a revelation. It was as if a switch had been flicked. I suppose you could call it a light bulb moment for me. I discovered that what traditional diets were telling me to do, cutting calories, eating salads, was never going to work. Now, I found out that the traditional way of dieting was actually disrupting my hormones. And there's so much conflicting information out there, and the generic eat less, move more doesn't work, especially when your hormones are out of balance. Low-fat, low-calorie diet foods as well are often processed and loaded with sugar, which makes this all a whole lot worse. And I found out that there was a reason why I couldn't lose weight, and it really wasn't my fault. And it really was my light bulb moment, because I learned that if you eat too few calories, your body will actually go into self-preservation mode. It's not sure when it's going to get more food. And it's sometimes called starvation mode. And it slows down your metabolism. And when that happens, losing weight is much, much harder. And in actual fact, you can stop putting on more weight. And that's exactly what was happening to me. I learned that hormone imbalance was a major factor in weight gain. Think of the hormone insulin here. It's not just about diabetes. insulin operates in our bodies all the time. And it's when things go haywire that we are in sort of increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. So what we eat actually affects our hormones. And once I started to address the hormone imbalance, using everything I learned, everything changed for me. I lost over 40 pounds of weight. Now I fit into my clothes, I have more energy, better quality sleep, and I enjoy what I eat. And I eat what I enjoy. I have my waistline and I feel I've regained myself and I have my life back. I am sleeping better, and it makes just such a big difference to when you wake up in the morning, you feel more energized to start the day. Now, after doing all this training and becoming qualified, I was offered the opportunity to become an educator on the NHS Healthier You programme here in the UK. And I jumped at the chance because I wanted to help others to improve their health and their lives too. Now, during that time, I met so many women who had struggled for so long with various diets, and they were so fed up and miserable as a result. And they just couldn't lose the weight. And if they did lose a little bit of weight, it came back on again. They just couldn't seem to keep it off. And I realized it wasn't just me. By the end of our time together, so many women told me their lives would change for the better. They lost weight, they improved their health markers, moved away from potential risk of type 2 diabetes, and they generally felt so much better and had more energy and much better quality sleep. And that in itself makes such a huge difference to the way you feel every day and your levels of energy and vitality. And I decided I really wanted to support other women who are just simply sick of perpetually being on some kind of a diet and who want to find a better way, a healthy way to control their weight without starving themselves, without feeling deprived, without having to rely on willpower, counting points, chemical shakes, or punishing gym sessions. And that's how I started the journey that brought me here today, here with you. So before you buy into another diet, make sure to check out more of my videos first. And then whatever you decide to do next will be based on scientific knowledge and fact, and you'll be in a position to make better choices for yourself, ones that will actually work for you. I am passionate about sharing what I've learned with women like you who are ready for a different approach, one that's healthy and one that works, one that you can maintain long into the future. So it's sustainable. And that's one of the things that diets just are not. They're not sustainable. You can't sort of keep depriving yourself and counting calories and sort of doing maths for the rest of your life. I mean, at least you could, but who really wants to do that? I believe you can enjoy real food, a little wine and chocolate, and have weight loss, body confidence, health and happiness. And this has a knock-on effect in other areas of your life, in your relationships, in your working life, in your productivity levels, and also passing on information to your children, the next generation, so they don't fall into the trap of this sort of hamster wheel of dieting. And yes, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Now, I could go on for hours and hours, which is one reason why I started this channel, because I want to share as much as I can with as many people as want to listen. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and tick all the likes and the bells and share this with others that you know who might benefit from this too. And I want to keep these sessions as bite-sized chunks and easy to watch. So next time I'll explain more about why diets just simply don't work, and with more tips about what actually does work too. So see you next time, and bye for now.